Pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice what acknowledges the state, or the statute permits the recording of the meetings of public bodies. Call to order.
Mr. Ely,
Here.
I'm President, Mr. Prescott.
I'm here.
Call the meeting was advertised to open bids and any other business that comes before the board. Public comment on items on the agenda.
Give him a couple minutes to look at it, because I didn't get
Yep.
that to him when I came out. I'll give him a couple minutes.
Dave's suggestion, if you just revert back to the rules where we can comment on them as you address them, since, you know, you just brought them out, not everybody got to look at them instead of waiting for everybody to read them. Is that fair enough? Hello?
I'll just go ahead and give him time to read them.
Yep.
Really?
Good specifications for the roof yet.
We're done tomorrow. We'll put the ad in the paper and I'll call you guys to see when. You just want to do it at your next regular meeting.
That's fine, I just I didn't know whether they were out yet or not.
I think they'll finally put it
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Try out the over. Wow. I'll send down more stuff.
I know it isn't for the whole thing, but that'll come close.
Regular session, alternate.
It wasn't good. Yeah, it's an emergency.
I thought so.
Hey, Dave, I have a question.
Sure.
When you open the bids, so when you open the bids, these are sealed bids that are for the building to build. So once they open up the bid, you're just gonna accept one of them? That's the
No.
idea? Or
No.
is this just the opening to see?
No, we're gonna open them, he's gonna take them back and he's gonna study them. Tell us which is the best proposal for the money.
We'll
Most
look at,
responsible bidder.
we'll start with the lowest responsible bidder, the low bid price, and we'll check all their references and make sure that, you know, all their paperwork's correct. You know, their insurance, their bonds.
Right, so it just doesn't go to lowest bidder right now. You still get to check them out to make sure that their credibility would.
Right, and then we'll write a letter of recommendation, so say the lowest bidder does seem to be the most also the most qualified, then we'll write a letter of recommendation to the supervisors indicating as such, and that we make a recommendation to award to that company. And then they'll award it probably at their next meeting.
And what do you charge to do that? Does it go up a percentage or is it a flat rate?
Oh, no, we're, very typically appointed township engineers just work on an hourly basis. We don't do a lump sum or a cost not to exceed or anything like that. We don't charge for attending any meetings. Evening meetings.
Thank you, I just was asking, I really didn't know.
Any other comments?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Good, JD.
Bless you.
Thanks very much.
Three things. First, I would like to go on record and reserve my right to address items on the agenda as we get to them, address them like we previously did before 2 meetings ago. I would like that on the record that I'm requesting that. I don't expect it to be granted as it wasn't the last meeting. But as far as the minutes for the last meeting, there was another incorrect that you approved last meeting. I know I brought up one thing that Zach then reiterated, and I believe, I didn't have a chance to read it yet, obviously, because it just came up. But I believe that was corrected, but there was another thing in there that was omitted, and that was the meeting before when you changed the rules to revert back to the rules we now currently have, where you could not address the agenda items as you come to them. I had requested my right, to reserve my right to address them as we come to them. And Doug, you said you can request it, you can reserve it, but I'm not going to grant it. I said that's fine, but I want it on the record as such, and it was not. So that would be another error or omission of minutes that should be corrected. And I want to restate that for this evening as well.
So we get it right, JD, why don't you just jot that down on a piece of paper, and we'll attach that right in the minute book. Is that way, it'll be exactly the way you want it? Okay, and there won't be any question about it.
No, it's very simple. I just want
No,
to reserve my
I'm
right to
asking-
comment on items as they address them like it used
And I
to be.
have written that down here.
Okay, that's real simple. And last and certainly not least, I think before we proceed, it would be a nice thing to have a moment of silence for the South in general, for Houston, all the victims in Texas and Louisiana and surrounding areas, and those yet to come. I think that would be a appropriate thing to do.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, background bids have been solicited for the proposed maintenance garage. Motion to open up the bids.
So moved.
How you vote?
Mr. Ely,
Yes.
how about yes, Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
You may proceed.
Okay, for the new equipment storage building, you have your sheets there. The first one I'm going to open is from Loranat Incorporated.
You want to spell that for us, please?
Yeah, L-O-R-N-A-T. With a capital N. Capital L-O-R, capital N-A-T.
Capital L-O-R, capital N.
N-A-T.
Okay.
And, the envelope's titled and sealed, you can mark that down. They're from Butler, PA. They do have a bid bond for 10% of the amount of the bid. It is sealed. I don't have that on your sheet, but they do have a bidder's information form, which is required. We have that. And the total amount of the bid is $305,776. $305,776.
305?
305,776.
That's,
Pardon me?
that's the first one.
That's the first one. Second bid is from Clears
Go ahead,
Contracting,
please.
F-L-E-E-H-E-R, from Cecil.
You're contracting?
Yeah. Lear LLC. Blue Shot. They do have a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the bid. It is sealed. Total amount of their bid. They do have a bidder's information form also with their references. Total amount of the bid is $468,699. 468,699. Next bid is from LLI Construction, Pittsburgh. It is sealed. Need a better.
Sharper knife.
Yeah, it is pretty dull pen knife. That blade is anyway. Have to change blades. Okay, bid bond. They do have a bid bond for $28,990.
It's cheap.
That's 10% of the amount of the bid. There's the bid bond, it's sealed. We do have the bidder's information form, and their total bid amount is $289,900. $289,900. Next is McBracy out of Washington, PA.
Spell that, please.
Sorry, it's capital M-A-C, capital B-R-A-C-E-Y.
Bracy.
McBracy.
Oh, McBracy. That's a bad letter.
They, they do have a bid bond for 10% of the amount of the bid. And bidder's information form, references, etc. Their total bid price is $279,900.
And then from Washington.
Yeah, they're from Washington. Next is Blair Construction, B-L-A-I-R, from Emlenton, PA.
Why would they just run that? You know they're gonna have. Short change orders.
Now the bidder's information form, let's see what the bid bond is. A bid bond and 10% of the amount of the bid. Signed by Raponda Company. And their total bid is $267,000 even, 267.
See? Smart people.
Getting better as you go.
Where are they from, did you say?
I said Emlenton.
Is that a 180?
Emlenton is in,
Yeah.
Bob Butler.
above Butler along the river,
Yeah.
Allegheny River.
Thank you.
Next is Swede Construction, SWEDE, out of Elizabeth, PA.
They're big.
This is the last bid. Information form. Bid bond of 10% of the amount of bid. And the total bid is $279,000 even. Another one of those?
279.
He knew something.
Yeah.
279.9.
He knew something.
$279,000.
So what was your estimate pre-bid?
We figured it was probably gonna almost double, around 300,000, a little more, a little less. So I didn't write them all down. What is the low, I guess?
267.
Okay. So it's.
Blair.
It's below 300. Blair, so we will check out, starting with him,
Okay.
his insurance, bonding company references, and make a recommendation.
Hey, Doug. I mean, we're not in the regular, can I ask a question right now on that? Whenever people turn in those bids, can you put, is there anything in those bids? Because I remember when I was on the school board, they would always add all these change orders. Is there anything that would say that these three guys get to say before they add any changeovers? Because a lot of times, this guy would underbid when we did work at the school, and Doug, you probably remember that.
Yeah, forever change
Yeah,
order.
But they would do these change orders, and they would be higher than what the highest guy was at the end of the day.
Now, the
I mean,
con-
Waller was, I mean, they didn't do anything in here, I mean, Waller didn't even do this, but I'm just asking that question.
The contract documents, the specifications require that if they want a change order, they have to submit it to the owner, and the owner's representative, the engineer, to be reviewed, and it cannot be approved until the supervisors sign off on it,
Okay, that's good,
so.
Question,
she worked for the school board.
do you guys just look at, you said you'd start with the lowest one. I don't think, they didn't bid the first time, did they? Blair? Doesn't sound
I don't
familiar.
believe so.
No.
Because I know McBrace
They,
was,
they
Oh,
bid, they
no,
bid the first time.
They did bid.
McBracy was a little bit the first.
right,
Yeah, and Blair was, I have the old one here, they were like.
Blair was
They were
202.59.
about the fourth lowest bidder out of.
did we have six bidders last time?
Seven.
Sounds like there was more. Okay.
Seven. Well, you could see a lot of, we had 4 no bids. Other companies took the bid package out, but they never submitted a bid. And I don't have a record of how many did that this time yet, but.
I guess my question would be, or suggestion would be to maybe look at the lowest three to see, because it's lowest responsible, right?
Right.
One thing that would be advantageous, McBracy's in Washington, if there's got other guys that are a couple hours away, that could run into a problem if there's a problem with the building or something. You know, it's just something to consider, that if you got a local contractor with a good reputation that does good work, that,
Right, we do, when we check their references out, we also check out their location. We ask them questions like, how are you gonna schedule this to meet? I forget how many days we gave them to build this, it's in the,
It's a defined term, though.
yeah, I don't know if it was 60 days,
Yeah, it's not
or
open.
like, how are you gonna schedule this? You know, so we do look at the location, ask them how they're gonna schedule it. You know, the contractor from Emlenton, you know, he may have guys he was gonna find a cheap place to put up somewhere in the area, you know, so we ask those questions.
is the bottom three are within $13,000, $12,900.
Yeah, we'll look at the other two and go deeper into them, especially if Blair, there's a red flag there.
I I make a motion that we
That guy there must be the
table
one,
the bids just to allow you for
must be coming
review.
back to sweep the floors.
Yeah, review and provide a recommendation.
Okay, motion to table the bids to allow for review and recommendation.
Second.
How do you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
So yes, Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Yes.
It was discovered after the close of the last township meeting, the dates of the minutes submitted for approval were incorrect due to the secretary using the calendar of the incorrect month. The dates of the minutes need.
Hold on. Could you hang in there just for the next couple of items? I want to ask you some questions.
Sure.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The dates of the minutes need to be corrected to the actual dates. Incorrectly identified as July 26th special meeting should have been August 2nd. Incorrectly identified as July 27th, 5:30 special meeting should have been August 3rd. An incorrectly identified public meeting, 6 PM hearing, and the zoning hearing should have been August 3rd. Motion to correct the minutes and add the corrections to into the minute book.
So moved.
Second.
How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
The township water sewage plant manager brought a leak detection equipment in to determine which water line, where water is being lost. A significant leak was found on north of Route 40. The operator has acquired a quote from Stewart Contracting of McDonald, PA to fix the line. The estimated cost is $5,800.
Don't cost us any more since you're here, huh?
I don't charge anyway, so might have to start charging now. No, I'm just kidding. Is this the only quote he received?
Yeah, yeah,
Hard to compare.
understand.
That's why they wanted to buy that new machine, so
Mm-hmm.
we could sub it out.
It's just a lump sum, it's not broken down. This is the emergency repair that we got, the emergency highway occupancy.
That's probably on the next item,
Okay.
yeah.
$1,500, 3,500 feet,
Gonna look out of line,
It doesn't look out of line,
okay.
but again,
The amount of water that's going out of there, it'll pay for itself very quickly.
quicker you fix it, the better it's gonna be.
Motion to hire Stewart Contracting of McDonald to repair the water leak discovered north of Route 40 at an approximate cost of $5,800.
I'll have some move.
I'll second.
How do you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
This is one maybe that you were involved with a little bit.
You can't take off the price of that machine, they wanna buy it.
The operator of the water and sewage plant reported today that he believes the sewer pumps on Tunnel Street have deteriorated to the point that the station poses a risk to public safety. The solicitor has advised the issue meets the definition as an emergency and the repairs can commence without following normal bidding procedures. Proposal for the pumps are $8,658.90 each, two required, from IPMS of Glenshaw. The electric proposal is $14,990, Allen Bradley drives preferred, or $12,325, non-Allen Bradley drives. The cost of repair is to be estimated at approximately $32,307.80. Motion to declare the Tunnel Street Pump Station condition as an emergency as not making an immediate repair causes threat to public safety. Additional approval is granted to the plant operator to move ahead with the proposals as submitted, choosing the Allen Bradley drive.
Have you had an opportunity to look at this pump station at some point?
We actually, not myself personally, our senior water and wastewater engineer, actually did a little study on it and gave it to Tom Bibby. I think you guys were copied on it.
Yeah, one of the bids that I saw on total replacement, lumping it all in one project, was about $75,000.
Yeah,
And this was, in doing it this fashion, we could come in a little less than half of that. Do you know what the situation is with that pump station? There's something about the pumps are no longer available and the electricity there has to be changed and,
right. It was supposed to, the proper pumps should have three-phase, but I think they can.
we don't have three phases there.
Right. But I think this method, and this, maybe this, I didn't read it, this TP automation, they can do something with a, control fault, just says required power supplies, fuses, that they can go with similar pumps, but you convert the power.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
This says three-phase power VFD compatible. But there's some converter. The only caution I have is, I don't have that report with me, and we particularly, we looked at the pump curves and the head levels, and we told Tom that you definitely, want to meet this criteria. And if
Well,
you-
Tom worked with
Did he work, okay, so he probably
With,
used the
John on
report.
this.
Okay.
project.
Cost-wise, yeah, I think it's the right way to go,
Well, my understanding in talking with John Forrest this afternoon, that if we don't do this, it's gonna take 2 weeks to get the pumps in. We could be running sewage out on the ground, raw sewage out on the ground tomorrow.
Tom told me that
Yeah.
3 months ago, so.
Well,
It could be
He
any
said
day.
within the last couple, I guess, the last few weeks has really gotten really bad. And so,
Well, I think you're good to go then, as long as Tom looked at it.
and Tom's
I didn't know you
been,
worked
yeah,
with
he's
Tom,
been
so-
working with John.
Okay. All right.
I will make a motion based on, motion to declare Tunnel Street Pump Station condition as an emergency and making immediate repair, not making immediate repair poses a threat to public safety. Additionally, approval granted to the plant operator to move ahead with the proposals as submitted, choosing, again, they give two different drives in here, and one being the Allen Bradley drive, which just says it's preferred,
Right.
and it's slightly more expensive. I'd like to make it as a motion and additionally, on top of this motion, or with this motion, that it will be paid for with Act 13 funds as this is, and it's been run by the solicitor and says Act 13 is okay to use for repair of the infrastructure. And that's really the only place we got any money to do it. Yeah, it would nearly break the water fund.
Is that your motion?
Yeah, motion to do the project as it's presented, utilizing Act 13 funds.
Second.
How you vote?
Mr. Ely,
Yes?
I vote yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Sharon has been handling deposits and expenditures since the departure of Tammy Mawson. Sharon has agreed to be the township treasurer. Motion to appoint Sharon as a township treasurer effective August 3rd, 2017, with addition to her pay being increased to,
I would like to say at least $1 an hour. Right now she's doing everything there is to be done in there. If you want to propose something different, I'm not,
Sounds right to me.
she's doing a better job each and every day. She's getting to know her way around the office. Is that number an agreeable number?
Works for me.
Okay, but
Okay,
you want to make the motion?
yeah, I'll move that. Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Second.
How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Tim Stewart of Stewart Sheet and Metal of Claysville has submitted a proposal to install a new gas line to the second floor. The proposal is $600. Motion to approve Tim Stewart's proposal of $600 to be paid with out of Act 13 funds.
One of the things that I had Tim look at, on the second floor of this building is the heating system, and the air conditioning system that exists currently, as well as this room. He has some suggestions on, how to reconfigure the upstairs and downstairs to make the cool better and heat better. So the upstairs rooms will heat better and cool better. And just as an example, the upstairs room right above the office, there's 2 heat lines coming into, and there's 1 return line. That's half the size of the 2 coming in. So I don't know much about that. I see Darren, maybe you do. You tell me when you're gonna have as much ability to put air in as to push the air out to go somewhere. So it's not happening. So that's why that room doesn't cool. Heat's because the heat comes up from here. And one of the reasons this room doesn't do well is because of the airflow in there as well. But he's got some recommendations along with, as part of this project, he needed to upgrade the gas line. And I'll move that, we move ahead, go ahead and let them put the gas where it needs to be.
Second.
How you vote?
Mr. Ely?
Yes.
I vote yes, and Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
Oak Leaf Forest and Logging Company has made application for a permit to haul on Stanley Drive. They have submitted a check for $250 for the permit and another check for $3,000 for heavy hauling. Motion to grant the permit to Oak Leaf